Hey guys, it's Ryan here with HobbiesofaMan once again, and today we're doing our TBR video for December. Now, I do think I'll have more time this month. I mean, school is about to be finished in like a few days, and I'm pretty late to this. It's December 4th today. It's been a bit of a busy week since it's the last week of school. I should be done with school by the 10th, and then I'll probably be done with work for the year on the 19th. So I'll have 2 weeks, more or less, of free time, significantly freer time than usual, at least this semester. So I should be able to get more reading done, but I actually also have like a ton of videos that I need to do. Like I have a huge backlog of things that I've read this semester that I haven't read, that I haven't reviewed. And so even though I probably will have a lot of time, I think most of my time is actually going to be spent making all those videos, right? Giving myself time to catch up and then more or less build up a backlog of videos for next year when I, get back to work and get back to my schooling. Should be my last semester, so that'll be great, wonderful. But we'll see how that works out, right? So without further ado, let's do our TBR video. It's gonna be a short one this time. I have 1 comic book and about 6 manga, and that should be very, very doable. I'll probably end up picking up other things as well, stuff that my parents or my sister might give me for Christmas, or anything else that I feel like reading in the moment will probably be what I end up reading beyond this, right? But, I'm not really giving myself a huge TBR pile anymore because I don't really get around to it. I mean, last month I had like 10 books total, and I read 7 of them. I forgot to read one comic book that I wanted to read, and then 1 comic magazine that I forgot to read, which was Heavy Metal, right? So this is a short TBR. Let's get into it. It's been a while since I read. It's been a while since I read like an old school comic book. One before the 90s, basically. Or actually, most of the things I read are from 2020 anyway, so, or 2020 and ahead, right? So I really enjoyed some of the stuff that I've read so far that were older, like the Eternals and Fantastic Four and the X-Men, and so I wanted to read something similar to that, but from DC. And so this is coming back to the channel. I've had it forever, and I always try to start reading it, and I never get around to it. But this is George Perez's Wonder Woman Volume 1. If I read this and I like it, I'll probably end up buying the second one, since it's currently available on Amazon. And this has beautiful classic style art. Like, it just looks so great. I love the simple coloring scheme. Like, there's not a lot of shading, not a lot of digital style colors. And it has like a really beautiful vibe to it. And I'm really excited to get into it. I've tried to read it a few times before, and then I get sidetracked with the fact that I'm also reading the current Wonder Woman run, and I might pick up the Absolute Wonder Woman, run as well. So if that happens, I'll probably drop this and read whatever's coming out currently, but I don't think I'll do that anytime soon. It might be something that I pick up at the end of the month, right? So I'll try to stick to this one as much as possible. This will probably be my main read for this month because it's quite a lot of issues here. I don't know exactly how many. Let's see if it tells me. It says the first 14 issues, right? So it's not that many, I guess, but the older comic books feel like they take a lot longer to read. There's a lot more happening in them. There's a lot more text and a lot more narration and a lot more, just stuff going on. They packed a lot of stuff back in the day into comic books. So it'll probably take me a while to read that. Then in terms of manga, I picked up Isaac a few weeks ago, actually last week, I think. This is the second volume in the Kodansha Omnibus edition. It's pretty good. I really enjoy Isaac. I have a few of the volumes in Spanish from Spain, and they feel a bit more premium than this, but this does have some color pages that I don't remember seeing in that edition. So that's cool. However, compared to some of the stuff that some other companies are pulling out, this is not by any means like a great edition. This is a pretty basic edition. It feels like Kodansha wanted to release this, but they didn't want to commit to releasing each volume individually. So they decided to cut some costs and just print less of them, even though they're bigger, right? Because I assume that the way that they're the logistics of printing is based on how many books you're printing, not how many pages they have, right? But I don't know. So yeah, this is volumes 3 and 4. The first omnibus was volumes 1 and 2. The next one's already out, so I'll try to pick that up probably at the end of the month when Madness Games and Comics does their winter holiday, sale. But I'm not really sure, right? I can't promise anything, and I don't really even know what's going on, next week. So how am I going to know what's going on at the end of the month? I also picked up Blue Lock 21 and 22, and I'll read these as well because I really love the series. There's something weird that happens with Blue Lock because every once in a while, the volumes don't have a shiny exterior to them. They have this matte one, and I'm not really sure what that is, why that is. I assume it has to do with maybe something the original printing did in Japan, but it's a little weird. It makes me kind of annoyed because all the books aren't the same, and that's kind of annoying. But Blue Lock is a great series. I really enjoy reading it. I really enjoyed volume 20, and 21 and 22 had been out for a while, so I picked them up recently, and hopefully I'll get 23. I think 24 also comes out this year, but I'm not quite sure. I don't remember. And then I have Farewell My Odin, which is another one of these Viking-style stories. This is basically something that I assume came out after Vinland Saga finally gained a lot of popularity here in the West. There was a big push to really make the Viking stories valuable and interesting, and I guess that this is one of the few that managed to make its way to the US, quickly, right? This is by Titan, though, and Titan's not that great at releasing stories correctly. The edition is nice. I like the size. It's not very big. The price is pretty bad. $13 for such a small book is not the best. It doesn't have color pages or anything. It does have colored ads, which I think is stupid as hell. If you're going to waste time or, money making colored pages on your book, make it the ones that are actually about the manga, not the ads. There's no value in having ads in color. No one is going to pick this up because they saw an ad in color. However, they might pick up this book if the front page is in color, right? And they just chose not to do that, which I think is really stupid. So this released, I'm pretty sure there's multiple volumes in the series, given the fact that this is a 1 right there. But I have not seen if Titan has released anything beyond that. So hopefully they do, because I know there was one series that they canceled after 2 volumes, which is really, really freaking stupid. I'm not really sure why they did that. I assume that it was a situation to do with Titan and that company not having a great, collaboration mindset, but I'm not really sure. And then to finish off this month of reading, we're going to do Baki the Grappler number 2. I loved the first volume. I think Kodama is probably the best in the game right now in terms of offering good stuff for a good price. This is about $20. You can get it for less than that. I mean, most of the time I've seen them on Amazon for $16 or $17, which, a lot of people don't like buying from Amazon, and I definitely understand that, but you just can't beat their prices sometimes. And most of the time with books, unless you buy something else with them, they don't, at least for me, I know a lot of people have a different situation. The books don't ever really come damaged, and if they do, it's very minimal damage. It's not bad enough that it bothers me, but it is like annoying thing when it happens, right? But most of the time, I don't really have any issues. So I picked this up from Amazon. It was $17. I think the third one's $17 right now. The fourth one is $20, and I think the fifth one is also $17. And I can't wait to read more of this. So this edition has been really great. The first volume had a lot of color pages through it, mostly due to that's how it was released in the magazine. Because this is kind of based on the Bunko edition, I think. This volume doesn't seem to have any color pages beyond the first few, which is fine. I don't really mind if that's how it was printed or like in the magazine. I just get annoyed when there's a clear color page and companies decide to not bother to make it in color, right? None of these seem to have that problem. So yeah, otherwise, this has been a really interesting series to read. I have never been a big fan of these types of fighting series, not because they're bad, because I think they're actually really good. Like Kengan Ashura is really interesting as well. I have a few volumes of that from Spain. But because the art style, although generally good, gets really grotesque when you're introducing characters. Like they all just look horrifyingly nasty, and they look badass as well, but mostly just kind of really ugly, right? And that's just kind of the nature of the creators, right? They like that style, so that's what they do. And I'm not the biggest fan of that, but the story is so good that it doesn't bother me in this case, right? And also in stuff like Record of Ragnarok or Kengan Ashura. So yeah, that was basically it. That's all I'm going to be rereading this month. Hopefully, sorry, my monitor just shut down. But yeah, that's all I'm going to be reading this month. Hopefully I do get to finish this TBR. It's been a while since I got to finish one, and it gets kind of annoying. I feel annoyed when I don't manage to finish my TBR, right? So let's see how it goes, and I hope you guys have a lovely holiday season. I don't know how often I'll be posting this month, but hopefully more than last month, because last month was pretty empty on the channel. I didn't really post much at all, just because I was so busy, because it was, you know, Thanksgiving holiday, work was really, really busy, and school was also really busy, because November and early December, which is when the semester ends, is really when it's crunch time, and everyone realizes that all their assignments are due, and everyone's just rushing to finish them, right? And, you know, as much as you plan out stuff, when you're working in an MBA program, it's mostly collaborative work. You don't work by yourself all that often. And so a lot of the issues come down to, I planned out all of this stuff, no one did it. It's been, you know, a whole semester, it's the last 3 weeks of school, and now everyone wants to do their work, and a lot of people are not that good at it. So you end up kind of picking up a lot of slack, right? And sadly, that happened quite a few times this semester. So it is what it is. But yeah, hopefully I'll post more, and thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all the support. Quite a few of you seem to be repeat commenters, and I really appreciate all your comments. So please leave one, leave a like if you can as well. I don't think the goal of YouTube for me is not to monetize. I don't really care about that. But if I did manage to, that'd be really valuable for me, right? I know that the returns on monetization are not that good for small channels, but, you know, something is something, right? Anything is valuable. And so it'd be really cool if I got to that point. I don't necessarily think I'll ever get to that point, and that's completely fine with me, because this is just about me sharing my journey of collecting manga, of reading through all these books, and hopefully helping you guys decide what to buy, right? So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and see you later.